So we're going to try an exercise which asks a great deal of giving up control. The game is called the stage directions, and basically what's going to happen is one of us will say a line of dialogue and the other person will then instruct player one in what to do.
Shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay.
The basic philosophy of the improv training that both Jan and I got is learning to fail and being okay with it. The tenet we often use is fail forward. What it does is it frees up that creative muscle to just go.
The truth is, I think I may have fallen in love.
He said, suddenly being struck dead by a lightning bolt out of nowhere.
I'm Bruce Horak, and I am a legally blind, visually impaired performer, creator, and painter. I lost 91% of my eyesight to cancer as a baby. And really recently, in 2011 or so, I started to paint as a way to interpret the way that I see. I began the practice as a portrait series. Friends would ask me how it is that I'm able to do what I do and move through the world, and I thought, well, I'll show you how I see, and maybe that will help. And it just kind of took off.
It's the thrill of a lifetime to get disability artists and scholars together. It's for us to discover our voices and make them heard, and then to figure out how to make audiences that aren't used to listening to us available to a kind of critical dialogue and to listening.
When she contacted me and told me about this weekend, I got very excited about the conversations which could be happening. Leslie had said, you can do as much or as little as you like on this weekend, and my preference, at least in the early days, is to listen. As a result of that, the stories that I've heard of the other artists here, their disabilities, their approach to their disabilities, and their art form, those big questions have been springing up.
I worked with Quest for about 5 years in Calgary, and the first show that I wrote for Quest was called What You Can't See, which was a semi-autobiographical show about a little boy who moves to a new town and pretends that he can see fine.
I mean, did you think about that then as like a disability arts piece?
I really only encountered disability arts probably just before I met you, yeah.
I was creating work for years before I really identified it as a disabled artist. In fact, I would do everything in my power to appear as fully sighted, to the point where people wouldn't believe that I'm actually visually impaired. But for myself, as I have actually begun to embrace my visual impairment, I've found a community in that, and it's very exciting. I think one of the biggest challenges that any artist faces is just getting out of your own way, really. You get into all of these reasons why you shouldn't be doing it. And for me, the biggest push through that barrier is being surrounded by other artists who are going through the same thing and finding creative ways through those blocks. That space at Wingspan would be ideal for that kind of a community, helping each other out, pushing through, and making those positive steps forward.
This is part of a greater momentum, and for myself, on a personal level, it's feeling like I'm in a stream with fellow swimmers.